Okay, there we go.
Hey yogis, it's Mia.
And Adrienne.
And this is a super quick, super short, but super special episode of How Yoga Changed My Life. We're just here to announce that we have been doing this podcast for 1 year.
1 whole year. Every week, we release new episodes on Monday. We started a conversation about having a podcast together back in 2022 in like October or something. And we came up with the idea. We rooted through all these different thoughts and names and got our little logo together and then got our equipment for Christmas and started interviewing people beginning of January and released our first episode in February. And it's been a complete and utter whirlwind, amazing journey.
Yeah. I think it's really cool to have a project like this that kind of markates time for you,
Yes.
especially because we've just gone through so much change in this time. You know, Adrienne and I met at a yoga studio that doesn't exist anymore, from a studio that I was fired from.
Yep. In a studio that we helped create and we helped build a community. And, as in everything in life, is change is constant.
Circular.
Unfortunately, studios change and come and go. We lost that studio. We were fortunate enough to hook up and teach at another studio so we can at least see each other more. But this podcast has really been, you're right, it's been neat to see the marks in time of how we've gone. So let's just give a little bit of our stats, right?
Yeah.
So podcasting, charting, and stats and all that stuff is really kind of top level, and it changes basically second to second. Most podcasters will, track their numbers and see how they're doing. And at first we're just like, okay, let's just see what happens. We have no idea if anybody's going to fucking want to listen to us talk about this stuff or if anybody's going to want to be interviewed even. Because, noticing that this is a very vulnerable place to talk about how yoga changed your life. And that can be an uncomfortable thing. And as you've heard over the past year, we've had lots of laughter and we've had some tears too, and going through that. But what's so cool is that we are a yoga podcast, but there is no yoga category for podcast charting. So we are basically dumped in with health and fitness, and then more importantly, fitness. So if you're going and looking at podcasts charting in the fitness category, we have hit 67 countries. And just so you know, we Googled it. There's 195 countries in the world. So we are in a good percentage of that. We're also in 788 cities. So this will be interesting to listen to in a year from now to see if we've hopefully gone up.
Grown, yeah.
But 77% of our listeners are in the US. That means that 22% of our listeners are international. Over the past year, we have hit the top 100 in charts for fitness on Apple in both the US, Great Britain, Norway, Portugal, Finland, Ghana, Switzerland, and Australia. That's fucking unbelievable to me.
Yeah. So all that to say, we're really proud and grateful for each of you here. It's been a long year. I'm still just thinking about everything that's happened in that time, but It's been a long year with so much change and transformation, but this podcast has been a constant for us, which is really nice as well, to have some stability, to have something that we've created and that we can control and that we have full creative license over, because as yoga teachers who work for studios and for other people, you don't get that a lot.
No, not at all. Not at all. And we don't make money from this podcast. This is a true passion project, right?
It's a nonprofit.
It's a nonprofit. Yeah. We're a not-for-profit. But no, you're right, though. It's like thinking back on everything that changes in life all the time. But every Monday, you can rely on us to have an episode. And that holds us accountable, and it gives us the ability to share from a place that, you can't do it any other way. Like, you're listening to us when you're driving. You may be listening to us when you're doing chores, or you're doing meditation before you go to bed, or when you first wake up. Like, we want to be a part of your day. And more importantly, we want yoga to be a part of your day.
Yeah. And so hopefully you've already seen some of the updates to season 2 that we've brought to the podcast, including our guests offering you a meditation or a bonus episode. And then starting next week, you're going to see that we have some intro music that is brought to you by a future guest that you're going to get to hear from. So we're constantly changing. We're constantly adapting. We hope you grow and adapt and change with us and enjoy the podcast.
Yes. Make sure you share the podcast with your friends, your family, or anybody that you think might need yoga or would enjoy listening to an interview. All of us are interconnected in some way, shape, or form. And that's a primal instinct of ours, is to find connection. So for us, even though we can't see you, we feel very connected to you and we appreciate all your support. One thing to do to support us even more is rate, review, and subscribe. Leave us a 5-star review wherever you listen.
Thanks, yogis.
Don't forget to follow us on the gram at Yoga Changed, as well as on TikTok. TikTok. You say it.
The whole thing.
Fuck. I don't care. I still get the endings.
It doesn't matter. Now, thanks, yogis. Bye, yogis.
Bye.